I'm not mad at that though. I'm not mad at that
Hold
when people say
on.
that at
I
all.
disagree. To me, it go Forest Hills, the off season, then Born Center. We're sleeping on the off
Excuse me?
season.
What
You
you
sleep
just say?
the off season? Are y'all
What?
sleep?
Welcome back to the Know It All Podcast. I am your host, Mr. T Baby Wrestling Geek Dudley. Not give my first name. You probably said it 1,000 times, but Dudley. And technically to my left, because it's just weird here. I'm probably on his right. It's weird. But to my left is Donovan, Mr. Huffman, Mr.
Did you get mine? What? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Seriously, welcome to episode 104. Yeah,
104.
104. We're really past 100 episodes. That is crazy. Past 100 episodes. I'm sorry. I need some water. It's another game, and I know y'all probably thinking, man, what is sports at now? It's coming. Just relax. It's coming. We're gonna give you more basketball. We ain't talked about it in a while, but it's coming. But Xbox just dropped some news, and we're gonna talk about it because we're Xbox fans. I'm gonna let Don do the social media and stuff because I'm really hot. I need some water, and my heat is still on because my wife likes to freeze us or heat burn us. Sorry.
You also have a jacket on, but welcome to episode 104 of the Know It All Podcast. TikTok Know It All Podcast, YouTube Know It All Podcast. Obviously, if you're here, you're watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, family, aunt, cousin, brother, sister. It don't matter. Instagram Know It All Podcast, YT at the end. That stands for YouTube. And episode 104, gaming, and we're gonna get right into it with Don's drink of the day. This wine was given to me by my girlfriend's mother, so shout out to you. And I mean, I'm not gonna put your government out, but you know, mama, that's what I'm gonna call you. And you know, yeah, let's get right into it, man. It's a good video.
I just want to say it. Thank you everybody who's been subscribing to my personal wrestling channel. We are 6 subscribers away from 700. Let's keep the grind going. If you love wrestling content and love talking about Jesus, because I will talk about my Lord and Savior on my channel, it's gonna happen. It's my channel. If you don't like it, go away. But if you like to talk about Jesus and wrestling, welcome to the channel. Again, this is an Xbox episode. Again, we did one last week. I know y'all probably thinking again, gosh darn it, again. But Xbox keep dropping news, so we gotta keep dropping it and talking about it. And it's about the reveal of the new Xbox, the next generation of Xbox. They already got the name. I seen it. It's dumb as
I know nothing about this, so I'm about to be.
It's the dumbest name of all time, but I'm gonna put it up so everybody can see it. Boom. Unfortunately, that's not the right way. I forgot to share the screen. So excuse the technical problem we having. Share screen. There we go.
Hey.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want.
Hold on. Hold on.
Here. There we go.
Oh wait. Oops. I did something else on my end. All right, we're good.
All right, I'm gonna put it in theater mode like we normally do, which it was already in theater mode. Silly me. Okay, so here we go. Xbox reveals, oops, wrong button, their new console, which will be Project Helix, and it will play PC games. Don't know if this is clickbait. I have not seen this video, so let's just see what he say. Now, let me know if you can hear it.
Well, it looks like GDC is going to be a lot more interesting than we originally thought, because Asha Sharma just tweeted the following: great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the code name for our next generation console.
Already a pause. The name is trash, respectfully.
Wait, so is that just the name of the project, or is that the name of the console?
No, it's probably gonna be the name of the console. They come up with the name. Just call it.
I think that's just the name. I think that's just the name of the project.
They said that last time. They ended up calling it Xbox Series X. That's a terrible.
That was called Series X.
Even as a project name, that's trash. Just call it Xbox. Just say we're working on a new Xbox. Like PlayStation ain't doing all this extra. They just call it PlayStation.
But yeah, never mind. That's fair. All right, let's go.
Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at my first GDC next week.
Also, I just want to make a quick reference. I love how they dropping all this news after she takes over.
Week. Now, very interesting that she brings up GDC, because if you go to the GDC website and actually look at how many panels Microsoft are on, well, there's this one Wednesday, March 11th called Building the Future with Xbox, presented by Microsoft Xbox.
When is that?
Speaker Jason Ron.
What time is that? I was gonna see if we can try to live stream it, but I don't know if they showcasing it.
Wednesday, March 11th, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Yeah, I'll be at work.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Ronald, as you may know, Jason Ronald works on a lot of the hardware, and that will be on Festival, on what is it there? Festival Pass, Game Changer Pass. But in addition to that, they also have DirectX State of the Union. They have Press Start, get your PC game ready for Xbox in one day, presented by Microsoft Xbox. Future-proof your game, streamlined workflows for multi-device world, presented by Microsoft. Build once, play anywhere. PlayFab powers Xbox cross-platform game services, presented by Microsoft and Xbox. They have a ton of meetings throughout the week all about making your game for the next generation of Xbox. Now, if you'll remember, why is that important? Why am I bringing that up when Asha Sharma is talking about this post? It's because one of the key initiatives is about building their hardware to work not only for the gamer and gamers who support Xbox, but also they want it to work easier for developers. They want to make sure that they are future-proofing for anybody who wants to make games for that given platform. So GDC is going to be a very important touch point for them. And I'm jumping at, if you heard the sound already, Xbox actually went out and posted the opening animation for this, if you are curious what it looks like. Now, personally, if I look at that logo, I do feel like they need like a little something on the white. I do like it. I like it's still got the X. I don't know about Project Helix, because for so long we were operating off of the idea of Project Magnus, etc. But this has been the vision that has basically been outlined since we heard about the FTC leaks. It's largely what they did with the ROG Xbox Ally handheld, and I have done many videos on my channel about what that integration would likely look like. And people who...
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing.
No, thank you.
I mean, bro. All right, go ahead. Skip it. Let's watch.
It's pretty clutch.
Aren't sure about a PC future. It's basically going to work the same way that Steam would, right? So any sort of Steam device that you utilize hooked up to your TV is just going to boot up as though it is any other console or piece of hardware, or at least that's what Xbox needs to land on. I'm just bringing up the video here that I've shown a few times on the channel. This is a mock I did a few months back. This is how it should work for any gamer who is looking to play. You turn on whatever the new console is, and then your TV shows it. And this was the original interface that they had built in PC. You pick up your controller and you're able to go. Now, obviously, I am spoofing this a little bit. It is a little bit of a mock, but you can just go into games from here, and you can go into games from any launcher. You can go into games from Epic Games Store. You can go into games from any of the devices that, or not the devices, the platforms that you want to use. And it's very similar to the ROG Xbox Ally X, which had apparently been selling well at the time. I made that video a few months back. It's actually done.
He said it wasn't selling well, or was selling well. I didn't hear that part.
Oh, he said it was selling pretty well. I mean, I figured it would. People just like having consoles. Me personally, we've already had a discussion on the channel. I wouldn't personally spend money on that, but everybody different. Excuse me.
Yeah, such a huge gap in the two different ones. That I think that's the main thing there.
Yeah, it's a disappointment either way it go, but people still buy, so can't be mad at them.
The job video Destin made. Now, in addition to all of this, we also heard from, Team Xbox and got some replies here. Let's see what people are saying. Sounds very familiar. It's back. Let's go. Bring exclusives, and we talking a purchase here from Pio, a big PlayStation gamer, right? A few weeks ago, I talked about the new Xbox having PC capabilities. Now let's see if Halo is a launch title.
Halo is
Interesting.
dead.
There's also been a lot of rumors populating over the last day. We had like people just talking about how State of Decay could be a target 2027 release. According to various speculations and reports in the gaming community, Undead Labs, State of Decay 3 could arrive in 2027 exclusively for Xbox Series X and S and PC via the Microsoft Store and Steam. And past that, I also saw rumors about how potentially we're going to get more exclusives on the Xbox platform. People have been talking about how Beyond State of Decay 3 is happening, that ID at Xbox could potentially be releasing games exclusively on the Xbox platform. I'm just going to show you some of the chatter that I've been seeing online. Now, take all of this with a grain of salt. It's all probably like rumors and conjecture, but my good friend, official, I don't know how to say that, I'm going to try, mentioned that State of Decay 3 might launch in 2027 and be an Xbox exclusive. Obviously, State of Decay, long associated with Xbox. Rumor, the new CEO of Xbox intends to keep exclusive games that don't have good sales on PCs? I don't know. According to Insider, the new Xbox CEO, Asha, requested a survey of all games released by Xbox on Play. With this base, she will define the games that should or should not arrive on the Sony platform.
So, what I'm hearing is
Okay.
they want to bring back exclusives, something they should have never let go from the jump.
Yeah.
Your Xbox, your games that are exclusive should never be on your competitors because Sony will never let their competitive games on your console. So keep that same energy. You want people to come buy your console. That's why exclusives exist. As a customer, I hate exclusives because it's like, oh, I got to keep this console to get that, or I got to get that console just to play that.
Yeah, but as a business, yeah.
Yes, as a business, she's going it the right way about it. They should have did this from the jump or kept it the way it was, but you got to live and you learn, I guess.
And one thing that I don't know how I feel about is what he just said, that she submitted a survey of all the games that are not doing well. Basically, she's saying if those games are exclusive but they're not doing well, that's the ones that she doesn't care about being actually like fully exclusive. And I feel like while like money wise that might be okay, I still feel like that gives some of like the legacy and integrity of Xbox away. Even though if it may not be selling that well, it still should be an exclusive. That's just kind of how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
When it comes to games that don't sell well, I think if it's an Xbox legacy game, it should never switch consoles like a Halo or Gears of War. Is it Gears of War? Gears of War, Doom, or
Gears of War, yeah.
Like those games, in my opinion, should never touch other consoles, no matter the sales. I think if you want people to buy your console, those are good games to keep on your console. So I don't agree with if they sell like, but only if they're not legacy games like those. If they sell like crap, then you can throw them on a different console and make some extra money. But if they're selling well, whether no matter the legacy of it, keep it on your console only and make it a console exclusive. But sometimes Xbox don't think like that, so you gotta.
Yeah, I guess you feel like you're trimming fat. I say that phrase for just the best comparison I have for the games that are not really doing anything for you. I guess. I'm not mad. Beggars can't be choosers. We're Xbox guys, so I'm not too mad. I'm glad to hear that exclusive games are looking at least going to stay and be a thing again.
Right.
Like we talked about this just last episode about all the things we thought was wrong, what was going wrong, and I think you harped that this was one of the things, and we're already hitting it already. So if she can actually really do this, I think it'd be a good move.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are fan accounts and breaking.
Oh, Halo.
I don't know. Obviously,
There's Halo.
Please take all of this with a grain of salt. Just saying. Microsoft will remove the PlayStation logo. The plan has changed. The love is back in the Xbox embrace. And then obviously nobody's actually said that. Microsoft hasn't announced removing PlayStation branding or abandoning PlayStation 5 releases. But should they is the question. That's the question I'm posing to you. Let's run this down. They make a lot of money for a lot of these games releasing on PlayStation. PlayStation recently announced that they're not going to be releasing on PC anymore. Should Xbox adopt that strategy also, in your opinion? Do you want the Halo remake to be Xbox exclusive, or should that be the first time that PlayStation game
All right, pause it
will
here.
be able
I
to?
think that's a good question. I think we can like talk about it just for a few, and then we can transition back to the video. I didn't know PlayStation made that announcement. Did you know that?
I don't keep up with business.
So that's interesting because on this channel and on this podcast we've been harping over and time again that PC is really the top dog. Is this consoles trying to put their foot down now? Is that what Sony and Microsoft is doing? Because if they're actually trying to compete, I don't know. What do you think?
So once again, I have to disagree with the PC is power. PC is the top. They're not. Console PlayStation will always be king. At least again, as of accessibility wise, it's more accessible to get a console than a PC. I said that last episode. I'll say it again this episode. PCs are popular, yes, but you have to have a certain type of pocket to get yourself a PC, a good one at that. Like anybody can go get a
That's
really
true.
cheap PC.
That's true.
But if you want like when I think of PC gamers, I'm thinking of the ones who have the high end PCs, the ones that's running. You can run any type of games with any type of frame per second, all that good stuff, any type of RAM storage. Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
So when I think of when I think of that type of console, I mean PC players, those are the PC players. But majority, 95%, I guarantee is probably smaller. I could be wrong,
Console.
but
Yeah, you're right.
probably
Well,
console.
95. I don't think 95% of people have a console though. I think that's a little high. Maybe like 80, 85.
I would say 95% has the console, but the other percent has a PC. It's more PlayStation sales.
You make a valid point because sometimes I think from my perspective of what would work for me and what my surrounding peers would have, and that would be PC. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like my perspective, I'm like, yeah, dang, a PC would just work for everything. I could do everything. But you're right, like the finances that people have, you may or may not have that money, that type of bread, that type of income. Like, yeah, it will make way more sense to have a console. So I think I like this move because it brings the competitiveness back, and maybe the PC problem, they were never competing with the PCs, and maybe that's just what I was thinking. Maybe that was never a thing. Like obviously they're there, they exist, they're present, but maybe it's like, okay, let's take away our exclusiveness. We're not doing anything with PC anymore. That's what Sony said. Microsoft should do the same thing, and we can get right back to how it's supposed to be. And I mean, at the end of the day, their business is business. Yeah, we can have fun. Our friends have PlayStations. I have Xbox. We have games that can play both, but still a business, and they got to make their money. And the whole goal is to do better than the other. So I think this is a good move if Microsoft chooses to do this.
I think going into this route for Xbox is a really smart move. I only say this because they're not going to win the console wars. They lost that a while ago. PlayStation outsells them like it's no tomorrow. So if that's the case, take your interest and put it into the next step, which is PC. Everybody doesn't have one. So depending on price, if you price this right, and you can get into that market, because let's be real, Microsoft wants to be tech. They want to be AI tech. They want to be PC tech.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think Microsoft as a company ever really gave a flip about consoles. And I think they really bought Xbox just for more profit, and they made profit out of them. But I don't think they ever really cared about the console wars. I think they've been kind of striding along for a while, over a decade. And now they're finally making that move, that necessary move, which is necessary because they're not going to beat PlayStation ever in sales. So now they're making that next step and sliding their way over to PC, as they should. Again, they should, because that's the route they need to go. Because they're never going to win the console war, sales-wise.
Yeah, and I mean, to add, I think it's good that they said they're trying to make this next console or whatever it is, or Project Helix, I don't know, being able to play PC games too, because then that way you kind of don't really have to compete with PC if you can pull it off right. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, it's a long road, but we're going to see how this ends up at Xbox.
Play the Halo franchise on a PlayStation console? Does it dilute the Halo brand? I think those are important questions to ask. Same question for Fable. Fable has been announced for PlayStation 5. Forza Horizon 6. Do they do a timed window before any of those games come to PlayStation? I personally think that it's going to be a tricky sell internally, but at some point you have to say, okay, we're making good money by releasing these games on our competitors' platforms, but has that diluted our brand? That's the exact
Yes.
conversation that I've seen all the PlayStation gamers having about releasing PlayStation games on PC. It's not day and date, but Forza Horizon 5 wasn't day and date either. And then when it came to PlayStation, it was one of the top selling games. It might still be one of the top selling games. So does Forza Horizon 6 need to be day and date with PlayStation? This isn't Xbox to PC. This is Xbox to PlayStation. I personally think the games releasing on PlayStation, having a windowed strategy might be smart because it makes a unique moment in sort of gaming history where you're releasing on a competitor's platform. And at the same time, they can still keep releasing on PC, and then the next console will sort of be marrying all of those together. That's my thoughts.
He has a point. Pause
I don't
it.
know how you feel.
He has a point. I would say we will probably disagree because we've been speaking on integrity of Xbox as a whole. But he's basically saying they're making a crap ton of money releasing them on PlayStation anyway. If they can implement PC into this next console, they have all of them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, yeah, money wise, that makes sense. But the culture, the integrity of the company, is that intact? And that was the question that he started before he went into this. That's the question that he had that I thought was very interesting. Like we've always talked about it. And please, you guys, let us know in the comments below whether you have a PlayStation, PC, Xbox. How do y'all feel about Xbox? You don't have to be Xbox gamers just to speak your piece on it in your opinion. But I don't know. I feel like it's the whole money over everything type of motto thing that they're still doing here.
That's everybody. And at the end of the day, money wins, and money's always going to win. So if they're making money with putting their games on other consoles, they're going to continue to do it. I don't blame them. I'm going to make my money. That's the whole point. I'm doing my job as a CEO to make this company money. And if that makes this company money, do what you got to do. I don't agree with it. Not everything. I agree with making the money. But I don't agree with
Of course.
I don't agree that everything
Yeah.
should be on their console. But some of them.
Which is probably why she's saying the survey of what exclusive games should or should not. Because if what he's saying is true, which this is all speculation, it's just a conversation, and what she's saying is true, then it kind of makes sense. She's basically trying to figure out what games are really, really good, they're going to keep. The other games that sell really well but don't keep it, but they're not as great internally, we can branch them out to PlayStation and still get money off of that too. If maybe that's what the whole motive is, the roadmap is. Maybe that's what Project Helix is.
Only time will tell, man. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Feel about it, and then what could they make exclusive? I've talked about having my map of like PlayStation versus
This room is
Xbox
tough, by the way.
exclusives in the ecosystem. If you start thinking about it, Xbox has a lot of great properties. They have a lot of great IP, and so does PlayStation. And I do have to wonder, are we going back to something like this, where Halo goes exclusive, Gears, Fable, they could even go crazy, do something like Diablo, Doom, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Forza, Wolfenstein, bring in the next indie exclusive, and then it leaves multiplats like Minecraft, Overwatch, and Call of Duty. Even with Call of Duty, like let's say the next campaign is a banger as opposed to the last one, which was atrocious, right? Let's say they have a great campaign for Call of Duty. Can you only play the campaign on Xbox, but multiplayer remains multi-platform? The way Call of Duty is structured, that might not be a crazy idea. And of course, that's not
That's true,
to
'cause you gotta
denigrate any of
download
the
everything anyway.
strategies that PlayStation is implementing, like Intergalactic, that's going to be exclusive. It sounds like none of these are going to come to PC, period. PlayStation is going to keep it on lock on their platform. That's the Bloomberg report from yesterday. But stuff like Destiny, Helldivers 2, and Marathon, they need those to be multi-platform. I think we all know that Fair Games is going to be a stinker based on everything I've seen about it. And look, I don't have high hopes for this, but Ghost of Yotei, not coming to PC, that's a line in the sand that PlayStation could be drawing in the near future. I would love to hear your thoughts. That is our first look at the next generation of hardware from Xbox. Let me know what you think about, what did you call it again? It's Helix? Project Helix? Yeah, Project.
I get what you're saying, Playboy.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I feel like if you're trying to make your money and keep exclusive gaming exclusive and still compete, I guess that's the best way to go. I mean, there's a lot of games, obviously, that they have to kind of keep. They don't have to keep multiplayer. I mean, you can do anything you want. But for revenue-wise and play user wise, it's a lot of games that they're probably gonna have to keep multiplayer. So, like with Call of Duty, like remember when Call of Duty I was just talking about this with Percy and stuff. Remember how you used to just have to download every individual game, and then over time, once you download the game, now you can press buttons and get to every game that you have. You just have to install them. Same as that concept. Yeah. I didn't like it because it's like you're releasing a game every other year, or is it every year?
It's every year. Same garbage.
So it just gets to be too much, and then it's too much storage if you're not actually paying attention to what you're downloading. But for Call of Duty, it makes sense because you can play every game. It don't matter which one you have downloaded. You just have to update it. So it makes sense. It's a one-stop shop. So that's what Xbox is that's what he was saying basically. Like Call of Duty can make it to where we have exclusiveness to the campaign, but multiplayer can go for everybody because that's how they already have it set up on their interface. Makes sense.
I haven't played Call of Duty in so long. It's actually kind of sad. Like, it's not sad. It's a good thing. I have not played Call of Duty. It has to have been about a year now, or maybe at least 6 months.
Actually play Warzone.
Oh God.
I played Warzone with Dad, Percy, and some other people like last week, and then some time before that.
No bueno. This is episode 104. Hope you guys enjoyed the gaming episode. Episode 105 will be a sports because I know you guys like that. Don't forget to stay frosty, start sharp, get ready for this hot weather. It's coming. It's already trees blooming everywhere, and bees already out, wasps already out. I see raccoons. I see possum. Yes, we live in the South. They everywhere. But,
those come out regardless, though.
Yeah, they're coming out regardless. But like I said, this is episode 104. We will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe.